Imagine a world where the edges of maps are filled with dragons and monsters, where the ocean is a vast, uncharted mystery that no one dares to cross. This was the world of the 15th century, where the boundaries of the known world were tightly drawn, and the unknown was a place of fear and superstition. But in this world, there were dreamers and adventurers who dared to challenge the limits of what was known. They were the pioneers of a new age, an age of exploration and discovery that would change the world forever. This is the story of geography, chorography, and the brave Portuguese sailors who opened the doors to the unknown. In the 15th century, the world was a much smaller place. People had a firm grasp on the lands they knew, but the vast oceans and distant continents were shrouded in mystery. Two branches of study, geography and chorography, helped people understand the world around them. Geography was the broader of the two, focusing on the position and relationships of different places on a global scale. It used mathematics and lines to map out the world, much like a painter might sketch the broad strokes of a landscape. Geography didn't just describe the land, it also considered the shape of the earth, its position under the heavens and the movements of the stars. It was a science that aimed to understand the entire planet. Chorography, on the other hand, was more detailed and focused on specific, smaller areas like farms, villages, and river courses. It required an artist's touch to capture the unique qualities of these places, the way a painter might focus on the intricate details of a flower or a face. Chorography didn't need the same mathematical precision as geography, but it did need an eye for the particular and the personal. It was about understanding the intimate details of the land, rather than the grand scale of the globe. The revival of Ptolemy's work in the 14th and 15th centuries marked a significant turning point in the study of geography. Ptolemy was an ancient Greek geographer whose work, geography, was a treasure trove of knowledge about the known world. His maps and theories were rediscovered and translated from Greek into Latin, making them accessible to a wider audience in Europe. Ptolemy's work was so influential that it became a standard reference for mapmakers and explorers. However, his maps were not perfect. They contained errors that would have a profound impact on the future of exploration. One of Ptolemy's most significant mistakes was underestimating the circumference of the Earth. He also overestimated the eastward extent of Asia, making it seem much closer to Europe than it actually was. These errors led to the belief that Asia was just a short sail westward from Europe, across the Atlantic Ocean. This misconception would eventually inspire Christopher Columbus to set sail in search of a western route to Asia, leading to the accidental discovery of the Americas. Another error on Ptolemy's maps was the depiction of Africa. He showed Africa as part of a vast southern continent that circled the globe, making the Indian Ocean a vast, enclosed lake. This made it seem impossible to reach India and China by sailing around Africa. However, by the mid-15th century, some mapmakers began to challenge these ideas. They started to depict Africa as a freestanding peninsula, with the Indian Ocean as an open sea that could be entered by sailing around the continent. One of the most influential of these mapmakers was Fra Mauro, a Venetian monk who created a planisphere in 1459. His map was a significant departure from the old Ptolemaic view, showing the ocean as a highway to the Indies rather than a barrier. Fra Mauro's map was based on the latest information from travelers and explorers, including a Venetian merchant named Niccolo da Conti. Conti had traveled extensively in Asia and provided valuable information about the possibility of reaching the Spice Islands by sailing around Africa. The Portuguese were among the first to embrace these new ideas. Located on the western edge of the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal faced the Atlantic Ocean and had a long history of seafaring. The Portuguese were driven by a desire to find new trade routes to Asia, which were becoming increasingly difficult to access due to the decline of the land routes controlled by the Ottoman Empire. The Portuguese had a clear purpose and a national commitment to exploration, which set them apart from other European explorers. In the early 15th century, Prince Henry the Navigator, a member of the Portuguese royal family, established a school of navigation in Sagres. This school brought together some of the best minds of the time, including cartographers, navigators, and shipbuilders. Prince Henry's vision was to create a systematic program of exploration that would gradually push the boundaries of the known world. Unlike Columbus, who set out on a single bold voyage, the Portuguese embarked on a long-term, step-by-step enterprise that would span generations. The Portuguese began their exploration by mapping the coast of Africa. They sailed southward, charting the coast and establishing trading posts along the way. Each voyage built on the knowledge gained from the previous one, gradually pushing the boundaries of the known world. In 1488, Bartolomeu Dias rounded the Cape of Good Hope, proving that it was possible to sail around Africa and reach the Indian Ocean. This was a monumental achievement that opened up new possibilities for trade and exploration. In 1498, Vasco da Gama completed the first voyage from Europe to India by sea, marking the beginning of a new era of global trade. The Portuguese established a network of trading posts and colonies in Africa, India, and Asia, creating a vast empire that would last for centuries. Their success was due to a combination of factors, including their commitment to exploration, their advanced navigational skills, and their ability to adapt to new environments and cultures. The Portuguese were not just explorers, they were also colonizers and traders. They established a network of ports and outposts that allowed them to control the lucrative spice trade. The spices they brought back to Europe, such as pepper, cinnamon, and cloves, were highly valued and fetched a high price. This trade not only enriched the Portuguese, but also had a profound impact on the global economy. The Portuguese also had a unique approach to colonization. Unlike the Spanish, who often imposed their culture and religion on the people they encountered, the Portuguese were more open to cultural exchange. They intermarried with locals and adopted local customs, creating a diverse and multicultural society. This approach helped them to establish long-lasting relationships with the people they traded with, which was crucial for the success of their empire. The Portuguese also played a significant role in the spread of Christianity. They brought Christian missionaries with them on their voyages, and many of the people they encountered converted to Christianity. However, their approach to spreading the faith was often more pragmatic than doctrinal. They were more interested in establishing trade relationships and securing alliances than in converting people by force. The Portuguese exploration of the world had a profound impact on the way people understood the earth. Their voyages and discoveries challenged the old Ptolemaic view of the world and opened up new possibilities for exploration and trade. The Portuguese were among the first to map the coast of Africa, the Indian Ocean, and the Spice Islands, and their maps and charts became essential tools for future explorers. The impact of the Portuguese exploration was not limited to the physical world. It also had a significant impact on the cultural and intellectual life of Europe. The discovery of new lands and peoples challenged old ideas and sparked new curiosity and imagination. The Renaissance, a period of great cultural and intellectual flourishing, was in part fueled by the new knowledge and ideas brought back by explorers like the Portuguese. The Portuguese exploration of the world also had a dark side. The establishment of colonies and the exploitation of resources often came at a great cost to the people and environments they encountered. The Portuguese, like other European powers, were not always gentle or fair in their dealings with the people they encountered. They often used force to establish their presence and control resources, and their actions had long-lasting effects on the regions they colonized. Despite these challenges, the Portuguese exploration of the world was a significant achievement that helped to shape the modern world. Their voyages and discoveries opened up new trade routes, challenged old ideas, and expanded the boundaries of the known world. The Portuguese were among the first to embrace the spirit of exploration and discovery that would define the modern age. In conclusion, the 15th century was a time of great change and discovery. The revival of Ptolemy's work and the development of geography and chorography laid the foundation for a new era of exploration. The Portuguese, with their commitment to exploration and their systematic approach, were at the forefront of this new age. Their voyages and discoveries not only expanded the boundaries of the known world, but also had a profound impact on the cultural and intellectual life of Europe. The Portuguese exploration of the world was a complex and multifaceted endeavor that had both positive and negative effects, but it ultimately helped to shape the modern world we live in today.